Alright, that's not gonna work there. That's fine. Let me turn this around again. That's not gonna work. There, that's not really gonna work there. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, well, we can put that there and that there, and that's pretty much all we can fit on that hill. Okay, what next? What next? Let's come this way. We'll figure out the other stuff later, because that's kind of more complicated. Don't want the tunnel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Two, three, four, five, six. Maybe I should be paying more attention to the shape of the land. 3, 4, 5, 6. Because I'm kind of just putting these things over the hills. I don't know, it's just so... like having a grid over a hill is just so complicated. Trying to get that to work with your plan. That's good. That's not good. Well, I mean... okay, we can do... that... and that. And that's good enough. It kind of works. Not quite. Back to the other side. That's there, and then that there, okay. 3, and nope, nope, there we go. Alright. What density are we looking at here? And do we have problems? Sims lacking in lifespan, Sims mode of a station. Road rules but streets becoming endangered. Seems like everything's going just fine. Alright, so here we have some unusual terrain we have to build on. Let me see. 2, 3. Let's try to keep this simple. Well, I mean, that's already not that simple. Are you serious? You won't let me do this? Okay, well, never mind. Never mind. Nothing's simple. Okay, let's start with the crossing. Why was it like it wants to... nope, nope, no. It kind of... nope. Suitable grade for construction. Well, there's one there, okay. Okay, well, there's one there. We can do that. Let's put a crossing there. Unsuitable area to build network, it says. Alright. So let's try... wasn't there another one here? There we go. Okay, let's try this. A little, a crescent, I think it's usually called. When the street kind of loops out like that. And we're going to... no, don't go crazy. Let's do that there and that. I can't see what I'm doing. Turn that around. No, that's fine. That's exactly what I wanted. No water. Alright. That's not good, is it? Alright, there. There is going to have like that. And I guess that. Okay. What to do? I think we could just... Well, obviously we can't just do that. Well, there goes the mountain. We just flattened most of it. No. Why does it? Why does it do that? Okay, let's remove those for now. That's not right neither. Alright, let's do this manually. We want that. Nope, that's not gonna... No, don't do that. There's keyboard shortcuts, but the game doesn't tell you what the shortcuts are by doing that. No, that's not gonna work. That's gonna work. That's not gonna work. That is. That's not. And neither is that. Alright, so that's not as good as I was hoping, but this is gonna be fine. There. Well, there's more room for things here. Maybe I should like that. So making on the crescent there. Can I cross that road? Can I cross that? I can cross that road. There we go. Why do you not want to join up? That is one ugly road. Why do we do that? Demolish those two. Just join them there. There we go. Alright, more residential. That's good, I think. So 3, alright, we can do that. That's fine. That's all fine. That's kind of fine. That's not fine. Alright. And okay, that's too steep. That's too steep. Alright. And we'll leave a gap there and then start building the other side like that. Also leave a gap there. Put that there. And then fill in... that's not gonna work. That works. That there, and it's kind of doing this manually. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so more houses there. That's not very good though. There's a bit of room back here. I'm thinking I should do that. Put more houses in back here. That's a great idea. There we go. Can do... no we can't. We can do that, and then we can also do that. That's almost... okay, that's... nope, that's not too steep. We can do that as well. That's probably too steep. Let's just put that there. And... nope. Can we... okay, put a few more there. That's good. How's the demand looking? Still fine. So this layout is somewhat less grid than the other one. than the other city we've been building. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? I don't really know, to be honest. I don't really know if it's good or bad. So again, you know, if this person here travels to work, he has to go into the main road and then come around and go to work there. He can't just go this way. You think that kind of going straight across with the shortest distance, or if there was an avenue here, he can just kind of come through here and out. That would be easier, or that'll be shorter, and possibly more efficient. But this way, we don't get the disruptions in traffic, in the sense that, you know, this person goes to work this way. He's not going to come back this way to go to work. And therefore a person living here is going to get very little traffic noise, as it were. And apparently that's what most people prefer, just less traffic noise. They don't mind driving longer to work by a little bit, but they mind the traffic. Let's see. Yeah, same as the last time I played. All of these don't have any traffic on it. I think I have to play the other city before the simulation figures out how many people come over to work in this side of the city. Let me save this so we don't lose the game if we crash it again. So I think what I'm just gonna do is just keep building. Just keep building these roads and these subdivisions. It's not very interesting, is it? I'm not sure what I'll do here, because these mountains are quite steep. Maybe I'll turn that around that way. Make a loop. I can make a loop. Alright, let's do this first. That's kind of steep. Maybe here I'll tunnel through. Not there. There I'll tunnel through. Sure. And suburbs here, or more, you know, neighborhoods here. That's a bit awkward here, but I can kind of fit. I think I can kind of fit some more up here. At least on this side, I know I can. On that side, probably not. Right. See, that works. That's good. There, and you know, there, that's good. That's almost good. Not really there. There we go. That's good there. And that might be too steep here. Yes. Alright, there we go. And that's all fine, and then that's a giant hill that we're not going to try to build on. It's just too steep. What to do here? Alright, we're gonna make the loop around there, so we're gonna not do that side. Actually no, let's just put the loop in now before we mess this up. I think I want to do that. And then I think I want to do... No, that's not right, is it? That. Maybe like... Look at I want to follow the valley, but you can see how the grid is not... It's not helping. They got... Yeah, I mean, I understand that the grid makes it easier to simulate. But then... I don't know. It's not very convenient to design around this thing. I don't want that tunnel. I want to just bring this across. Maybe I want that tunnel. Maybe I want that tunnel too. Maybe I don't want that tunnel. maybe I wanna come down this way. Alright, so there's a giant loop. I don't know what to do here though. I think we need smaller roads there, because the avenue is going to take up all the space if we build the avenue. Alright, I think we can fit houses there. Not sure though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try having a suburb up the hill like that. I have a bad feeling about this. I have a bad feeling about that. I don't think that's gonna work. Well, what of it? That's not right. Come on, you can do this. There we go. That's what we want. I guess we go all the way there. Now that's a problem. Nope. And nope. We can do that. We can do that. The other stuff, no. That's okay. What's that gonna do? That's... we can do that. The others, nope, that's not gonna work. That's not really gonna work neither. Okay, so that didn't really work out very well. Putting that on that hill. Alright. I don't think that's gonna work, to be perfectly honest. Like if we try to put in... that might actually be the best idea. We'll put that in. Extend that street a little bit. Extend that street... no. Extend that street a little bit there. And then demolish some of these things. That might actually be the best idea. Alright. On this side we can go there. And there. And there. And also... okay. Apparently that works. Alright, so that's some more houses on the hill there. This is nice flat land, we can put a lot of stuff here. I think we'll go with... I don't want that road. There we go. Let's go with that. And then start... I don't want an extra intersection. Let's extend this avenue out a little bit, and then we can join the road there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can also come... no, we don't want to do that. 3. Put a little bit of a street there because there's not much room further to the left. Okay, we're just gonna do that and that. And let's... there we go. That's good. I like how this is turning out. And we can do all that there. Alright, and then we put another street further up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just push that all the way to there. Nope, we're gonna stick with the cul-de-sacs. We're not going to... I'm really tempted to join that road up there, because that makes sense, right? But we're not going to do that. We're gonna resist anything that makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're gonna do this for the Bagginses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's probably what we want to do there. Yep, and more houses. Yay, more houses. Alright. That's still not gonna work. That surprisingly works. That's... nope. No go. Okay. That's... there. That kind of disappears into a tunnel, doesn't it? You can't actually build into the tunnel. And that's not gonna work there. Okay. Turn that around. That's all cliffs, unfortunately. But we can put houses down here. That's mostly cliffs as well. That's great. And that's not gonna work. Can we put that side? Yes, we can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. So I mean this is actually looking more realistic. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's more realistic. Because this is kind of how real suburbs are like. Messy, pretty much. Pretty much messy is what real suburbs are like. We're gonna... that's too difficult. Alright, so how are we gonna do this part? I don't know how we're gonna do this part. Or do we take a break and not worry about it for now? We're making a lot of money. Over $2,000. Actually, no, we're not. Why are we down to... because the simulation is slow, that's why. So we're kind of making a lot of money. Let me just... okay, let's run the simulation for a bit. Actually, let's just check the information. That's pretty good, actually, I think. Maybe... unsuitable grade. It's not unsuitable grade. You can do this. You can do this. Yes, you can. There you go. So let's make more connections to neighboring cities.